Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we'll do all the models regarding Coulomb's law up to Coulomb's law. So you can see here, I'll zoom it for you. The topics which we'll cover it today: electric charges, conductors and insulators, charging by induction, properties of electric charge, and Coulomb's law. So this is a very important topic regarding NEET, and today we'll be looking at level 1 questions and also level 2. We'll try to complete full Coulomb's law. Okay, let's start the questions now. So in the introduction part, most of the questions are theoretical. In physics, generally one who is good at numericals can do numerical problems easily because they're just application of the formulas, but theoretical requires a lot of knowledge, in-depth knowledge regarding that topic, and the options are also very confusing. So let's see and solve some questions. First question: if a body has positive charge on it, then it means a very basic and simple question, that if a body has a positive charge on it, then it means I already marked the answer, lost some electrons. So we have to remember positive is giving out electrons, negative is taking in electrons. Very simple question. This you might have learned in 9th and 10th also as well. So very basic question. Sometimes we do mistakes in basic questions as well, so just keep it in mind. Generally positive means gaining, we think, but here it is completely opposite. Positive is giving some electrons. Then next we'll go to second question. What is the sure check of presence of an electric charge? Batao. So generally even me too confused with this statement, because everything through everything we can check what is there in it. I have already marked the answer: repulsion between the bodies. Why repulsion between the bodies only is the sure check of the presence of electric charge. So we know definitely attraction between bodies requires some unlike charge. Of course there also we can say that charges are present, but attraction can be between neutral as well as some other charge as well, like either positive or negative. So either positive. So attraction can be between neutral charge as well as either a positive charge or a negative charge as well. So we cannot consider attraction as the sure check for the presence of electric charge. Induction, definitely not. Frictional force, we can generate electric charge but we can't determine it. Hence answer is repulsion between the bodies. And when does two bodies repel? Whenever there is an unlike charge between them, like charge between them, then only they can repel. That's why the answer is repulsion. समझो, अच्छे से समझो. देखिए, so this statement, I think it is important. You need to remember this statement. क्या हुआ? एक मिनट. Yeah. So this statement is very important. Neutral as well as some other charge. Also, they can attract, but in repulsion, it's not the case. We need definitely two like charges. Then let's go to the third question. Let me clear it. So answer is 2. I hope you understood. Then let's go to third question. If a solid and a hollow conducting sphere have same radius, both have same radius, both have same radius, then hollow sphere will hold more maximum charge, solid sphere will hold more maximum charge, both the spheres will hold same maximum charge, both the spheres can't hold charge. Definitely fourth option is wrong, they will hold charge. See, whenever there is a conducting surface, either a sphere or a solid sphere or a hollow sphere, anything, according to our concept, whenever you introduce some charge, this charge will not stay there in a conducting surface, it spreads over to the surface. Hence, the maximum charge will be same, right? Why it is same? Radius is same, the charge you given is also same. Hence, the maximum charge hold by it will be same in both the hollow sphere as well as solid sphere. The main point here is charge gets distributed. Charge gets distributed over to the surface. So again I'm saying, whenever you give a charge, this charge won't accumulate here, it spreads over to the surface. Hence, the maximum charge is same in both the cases. I'll clear it. So the answer, everyone knows it. It is third option. I think a good concept oriented question this is. Well, it's an easy question, of course, level 1 question. Then a very interesting question, fourth question. 5 balls marked A to E are suspended using separate threads. Pairs BC and DE show electrostatic repulsion. What is electrostatic repulsion? When does a repulsion occurs? Repulsion occurs between like charges. Hence, B and C have same charge. D and E have same charge. Let's consider just arbitrarily B and C as positive, D and E as negative. Now, pairs A and B, A and B, C and E, and A and E show electrostatic attraction. So these two are unlike charges, because they are attracted. We have considered in the first case V as positive. Suppose this is positive, A remains same. Then C is positive, then E is negative, right? This is correct. Then A remains same because we want to find A only. Then E is negative. So what should be A? According to this case, it should be positive. According to this case, it should be negative. Hence, we can't determine it. It is uncharged. It is uncharged. I hope you understood why it is uncharged, because previously only we have studied that in attraction can be between a neutral charge and either a charge which is positive and a negative, and hence we can consider here it is uncharged. It is uncharged. So the answer is option 3, uncharged. Easy question, eh? So when a plastic rod, I am going with fifth question. When a plastic rod rubbed with wool is brought near the knob of a negatively charged gold leaf electroscope, the gold leaves. I think everyone might know the construction of the gold leaf electroscope. It is basically used to know the strength of the charges. See, I'll just give you a basic idea of the gold leaf. A rough diagram I'll be drawing. So this is some jar. These are two leaves. So whenever you bring some charge to like a rod, a positively charged rod, this is positively charged rod, and touch it or just induce the charge, then this gold leaves become positive. Here also same charge will come on both sides. Here is positive, this side it is positive, this side it is positive. Hence we know that like charges will repel. So these two dilate. What is the meaning of dilate? They get separated by a large distance, like they get separated, that's it. So they get dilated. So from this position they might go like this, they might, I'm just saying might, they might dilate like this. Hence we know here, when a plastic rod rubbed with a wool is brought near the knob of a negatively charged gold leaf. So we all know that when a plastic rod is rubbed with wool, we get negatively charged gold, negative charges. Hence this will dilate because more negative charges will come. So more dilation will take place. And the answer is dilate. Answer is dilate. Next question. Which of the following is not true about electric charge? Easy question. Charge on a body, see, not true. Always remember this. Whether it is true or not true, just twice check it. Charge on a body is always integral multiple of certain charge known as charge of electron. This is right, we know Q is equal to Ne. That is what he is saying here. Charge is a scalar quantity. This is also right. Net charge on an isolated system is always conserved. Yes, this is also right. So charge can be converted into energy, and charge can be converted into energy can be converted into charge. This is wrong. ऐसे कैसे करता है? So option 4 is the correct. What is the amount of charge possessed by 1 kg of electrons? Easy, very simple, we know. Let me change the color. 9 into 10 power minus 31 kg. This is the weight of one electron. This is the weight of one electron. Now we want 1 kg. We want 1 kg. So we want the amount of charge present in 1 kg. So we'll take it as x. By unitary method we can solve it. So x is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 by 9 into 10 power minus 31. So if this is 6, so if minus 31 goes there, it becomes plus. So hence it becomes 29, 12, 10 power 12. So 1.6 into 10 power 12 by 9. So 110 will take it out. So 16 into 10 power 11 by 9. It is approximately, if we cancel, we get 1.8. Hence the number of electrons are 1.8 into 10 power 11. This is our final answer. This is approximately. Let us see the answer. Yes, we are right. 1.76. We took approximation just for 0.04. So 1.76 into 10 power 11 coulomb is the right answer. Next question. Which of the following processes involves the principle of electrostatic induction? So Xerox copying, definitely the charges will be used because friction will be taken place in the printer. Hence charges will be produced. In the same way, chocolate making too, and pollination too. These are all mostly friction based. Hence all these are the correct answer. Next question. When a conducting soap bubble is negatively charged, then it expands. How it expands? Let me explain you. This is a bubble. This is a soap bubble. It is negatively charged. Negatively charged. So when it is negatively charged, why it is expanded? It is because negative charges repel each other, right? This negative charge, this negative charge, this negative charge, this negative charge, everywhere negative charges, all negative charges repel, and they try to escape from that area. Hence the bubble expands. The bubble expands. It is due to the repulsion forces between the negative charges. The soap bubble will expand. These are the 9 questions. These are basic questions, level 1 questions. From level 1 I'll go to level 2. I think approximately 30-35 questions are there. Easy to do. We can complete in mostly in 40 minutes, 40-45 minutes. Easy questions. Mostly they are theoretically based. Few are problems. Those also just takes 3 to 4 minutes. Let me insert another image. Yeah, I'm done with the inserting. Now let's go to our next question. Our 10th question. Coulomb's law is analogous to. Very simple theoretical question. So what is the formula? K q1 q2 by r square. It is in relation with Newton's law of gravitation. The basic equation that you have studied in your 9th maybe, that is F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So almost same. R R, R, K, K and G are constants, constant, constant, and Q1, Q2 here charges, here mass. That's it. Hence, Coulomb's law is analogous to Newton's law of gravitation. It's a direct point given in NCERT as well. So the option is 4. Next, 11th question. So now comes interesting question, easy question. 2 point charges, 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 exert a force on each other when kept certain distance apart. So 2 point charges are there, exert a force F on each other when kept certain distance apart. If the charge on each particle is halved, charge is halved, and the distance between the two particles is doubled. Charge is halved and the distance is doubled. Then the new force between the two particles would be. Let us do this question. So he is saying two particles of charge Q1 and Q2, two particles of charge Q1, Q2 are present. So they are separated by a distance d and have a force F. So F is equal to kq square by r square. Then if the charge is halved, so Q1 is halved and Q2 is also halved, and the distance is doubled, that is d is doubled, 2d it becomes, then what is the new force? See, charge is halved, so k q1 q by 2 into q by 2 by distance is double d 2d whole square, and it becomes kq square by 4 into 1 by 4d square, which is kq square by 16d square. We already know what is F. Kq square by d square is F. From here, if you substitute, see, kq square by d square is F. So hence it becomes F by 16. This is F. This roundup part is F because we have seen here. So F by 16. F by 16. That's it. Let's see the answer. So answer is F by 16. Fourth option. Now let's go to the next question. 12th question. Two equally charged identical small balls kept same fixed distance apart. So two equally charged identical same type of balls are kept at same distance, exert a repulsive force F on each other. A similar uncharged ball, after touching one of them, is kept at the midpoint of the line joining the two balls. Force experienced by the third ball. This might be important question, important model I can say you. So let me do it again for you. So I am clearing it now. I hope this problem is clear. You can see the problem. Right, I am clearing. Now let's do this question, that is question number 12. Two equally charged identical small balls kept at same distance apart exert a repulsive force. So two balls, these are two balls. They exert a repulsive force of F. A similar uncharged ball, some uncharged ball is kept here somewhere. After charging them is placed at the midpoint. Okay, this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint of these two line joining the two balls. Force experienced by the third ball. Force experienced by this force we need to find. This force. Wait, 1 second. Yeah, let's solve it. See. Okay, that's coefficient. Okay, this is Q. This is Q. Both are charged equally. One charge, the yellow color one, what you can see on the screen, is touched with this Q. Let us mark it as A, and this is B. So remember one point, whenever you touch some object with another object, it shares the charges equally. Suppose if you touch a ball of Q2 charge with a ball of Q1 charge, then the charge between both the balls becomes Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Important, very important point this is. Whenever you touch something, this idea is important, and this is called the concept what you need to have. So Q1 plus Q2 by 2, this is important point. Then it becomes Q1 plus Q2 by 2. In the same way that form we use here. So we'll be touching this uncharged particles with this Q, means A becomes Q by 2 and uncharged particle C becomes Q by 2. Now what he is asking for? Force experienced by the third ball now. Now force experienced by the C. First of all, in this case we need to find the force experienced by A by B. Let's find it out. That is F is equal to FAB is equal to K Q by 2 into Q by, so the distance of separation, suppose A square. Now the force becomes KQ square by 2A square. Now force of A over C, AC, which is K Q by 2 by A by 2 whole square, which is KQ square by 4 by A square by 4. So it becomes into 4 by A square. 4 cancels and it becomes KQ square by A square. Now the force acting on it will be net force, F net. FAB minus FAC, which is KQ square by 2A square minus KQ square by A square, which is equal to KQ square by A square, and this is nothing but F. So I think in the options too, they gave in the form of f. Let us see. I did not solve it, but let's see. Yeah, f. Option 3. That is about the 12th question. Let's see one more important question, which through which I have struggled a lot. I think I still don't have a clarity, but let's try. Let's try it out. So this is the answer for the 12th sum. You can take a screenshot. I'm rubbing it. Now let's go to the 13th question. A charged gold leaf electroscope, again we came to a gold leaf electroscope, has its leaves apart by a certain amount having enclosed air. When the electroscope is enclosed, is subjected to X-rays, then leaves are. So here what you need to have, what are the properties of the X-rays you need to have. It is not given in NCERT, even in the coaching modules also it was not given, but I think you need to have a basic idea regarding these type of questions. So I'll be providing you the basic idea on this question. So basically what is this is an electroscope. I'll be drawing it once again. Yeah. So as I have previously also drawn, this is some sorry for the bad drawing, something like this. So these are the gold leaves, and this is one metallic rod connected, and we bought some iron rod. This is the general experiment of electricity. But here what he is doing is, he is not using the rod, so we'll take this out. So what he is doing is, he is passing X-rays through it. This is in vacuum, remember this, and he is passing X-rays. These are X-rays. These are X-rays. So what does an X-rays do is, it ionizes the gas. It ionizes the gas. Now the electroscope, it is kept in the gas, like some like in a room. So these X-rays will ionize the gas. So these X-rays either turn the gaseous particles into positive ions or negative ions, anything. So ionization, positive and negative, it will convert. Now according to the question, it was given, what it was given, a charged gold leaf electroscope has its leaves about. So it's a charged gold leaf. It means it is already having some charge. This gold leaf already having some charge. Suppose it has positive charges. Suppose. Then what does this do is, already some ionized particles are present in the air. So positive attracts the negative. Hence, so the negative particles in the ionized air will be attracted by the gold leaves. So the net charge becomes 0 and the leaf collapse. What is the meaning of collapse? Means it shuts down. Now it is in opening position after absorbing or after attracting the negative ions, and the net force becomes 0, the net charge becomes 0, the net force becomes 0, hence the leaf particles will close. That is nothing but collapse. And that is the answer. What is the answer? Collapse. I hope you understood it. Collapse. So the answer is collapse. Here remember one point, as I previously said, the charge on this electroscope, the charge on this electroscope will be same everywhere, either if it is a positive or a negative, it will be same everywhere. Hence, if there is positive, the leaf will dilate more. So as it is positive, suppose we are giving some negative things, then it will shut down, it will shut down, it becomes closed. I hope you understood. I hope you are clear. I will wrap it.